Hey y'all, welcome to the Acting Like a Mom podcast. My name is Alicia, your host, and I'm currently recording this opening in my garage because that is the quietest place in my house right now, which is ironic because my son actually is in Atlanta. But there's just always noise, TVs, games, buttons, and if the baby sees me, then she's gonna want me, and that's just a lot right now. But I'm gonna say it's been a great week. I know the last episode was a mini crash out in the car, which was nice because so many people related to that. Actually, probably my most commented or like DM'd and text messages of people who have had those moments as well. And I know that as actors, we go in our car after auditions and you leave sometimes and you're just like, what just happened? Sometimes they're worse than others. But it was just really nice to feel validated, and I hope that that did the same for you guys. And ironically, I just had a callback yesterday, and the callback went great. I didn't get put on a veil, but I left feeling good. And that callback was for the same casting director that I had the callback from last week. So they called me back in. So I guess my last callback wasn't as bad as it wasn't bad. It just could have been way better. That's all. That's all. This week is a good week. I'm feeling good. This episode is great. My guest this week, Mesha Kussman, I've actually known her for a very long time, and I've been wanting her on here because she's very inspirational. Ever since I've known her, she has been proactive in her career and creating. And I love someone who actually creates stuff. Because how often do we say we want to create things and make things and produce things and direct things and all this stuff? And she does it. And I feel like I always see her working on something. And I admire that because I know how hard it is. And she has 2 kids and a husband, which we all know takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort. So to balance all of that, we actually did talk about that, how she kind of finds time to balance it or manage her time. Even just like, having designated windows of work, of like focused work, is very crucial for like her creative process. We also spoke about how she kind of hit a wall when she had her child, was the same time where her business was starting to flourish, and then she learned how to delegate because she kind of had to delegate, which ultimately gave her the ability to work on other projects and have her business kind of be able to work on its own without her having to be so hands-on. A little bit about Mesha, kind of what she does, who she is. She is a director and choreographer who specializes in creating large ensemble musical numbers for camera. Her choreography credits include the Coen Brothers' Hail Caesar, which we talk about, Marvelous Maisel, which we talk about, The Offer, which we talk about, Justin Bieber, Lizzo, and more. She is also the founder and artistic director of the international aquatic entertainment company, the Aqualillies, which is how I know her actually. I have been a part of the Aqualillies for like 12 years, synchronized swimming. I'm a dancer who was taught how to synchronize swimming, which actually they taught me like the skill of synchronized swimming. Created a lot of opportunities for me. I've always been a water baby, really into the water, always thought I was a mermaid. And I think that this just let me flourish and taught me the skills. And I think also added another skill to my resume, which allowed me to book some really cool jobs. Dare I say, working with Beyonce. That's right. You heard it right. Beyonce, like the Beyonce, which is wild because as a dancer or former dancer, I used to dance. I have auditioned for Beyonce projects multiple times for many years, and I never booked any. But I did get to work with her through a synchronized swimming job with the Aqualillies, which is a testament to the idea of like sometimes you get indoors in different ways that you thought you would, because that was, that's definitely a once in a lifetime thing. I'll always remember. It was super amazing. So I'm definitely grateful for that. Like I said, Mesha is a doer. She executes her ideas. She creates beautiful work. She's a great storyteller. And I'm so grateful that she came on the podcast. So without further ado, enjoy this episode. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the Acting Like a Mom podcast. I am Alicia, your host, and we are here to shine a spotlight on the incredible and often untold stories of mothers navigating the fast-paced world of the entertainment industry. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Acting Like a Mom podcast. My name is Alicia, and today my guest, I've known her for an actually really, really, really long time. and she is a creative mind. And I'm going to let her introduce herself with the slate, and then we'll get into it. So can you please introduce yourself with your name, where you're from, and your most proud work accomplishment?
Oh, wow. Okay, hi. I'm Mesha Kussman. I am from San Francisco, California, and my most proud work accomplishment was choreographing Scarlett Johansson in the Coen Brothers movie Hail Caesar, in the center of that water spectacle in that movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Which brings it to how I know you. You're also creative director of the Aqualillies, which I have been swimming for quite a long time. I don't even know when.
Yeah, when did you start?
I don't know.
It was pretty early on.
It was pretty early. When did you create it?
2008.
Okay, I think I was like 2011 then. Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So I conceptualized the idea of Aqualillies in 2008, and then in 2009 we booked the 17-show residency at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. But so you weren't part of that. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Were you?
No, I was not
part
a part
of
of
those live shows?
No, I was not a part of that one. I was a part of a different residency. I'm blanking.
The Beverly Hills Hotel Centennial.
Yes. With Dita Von Teese, right?
Dita Von Teese opened that.
Yeah.
It was a Cointreau event. And it was for the 100th anniversary of Beverly Hills Hotel.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you remember? Did you forget that?
Girl, I don't know. I don't know. I just knew that I booked a job.
That was a fun
I
show.
showed up.
Because that was like during the day, and it was very family friendly.
Oh, we invited our friends and family because we usually don't get to invite our friends or family because it's usually private events. So I feel like that was exciting for that reason, because I felt like we actually had people who were into like our show, and they were like who knew us.
Yeah. So I mean, mostly Aqualillies does private parties and events.
Yes.
And so, and film and TV and music videos.
Okay, yeah. So your list is long, right? Of all the things you do, you're just like, what do you even call it? Creative director? Like, what is your?
Yes.
What?
So the title is founder and creative director of Aqualillies.
Okay.
And Mary, my partner, who you know intimately, she's the executive director, and so she handles bookings and oversees operations, and I handle business development and oversee marketing.
Okay, that's great, amazing,
and we both choreograph.
Yes, yeah, and you have many other hats. Is my question is how like how did that start? Is Aqualillies the beginning? Like, because you also had like a one-woman show, like a long, you've had like such a vast career, and you've done so many different things. So like, was that always the plan? Were you always?
Oh, it's such a great question, and I love this question about the plan, because I'm a person who, like, I have a lot of plans. And I have been thinking about this project that I'm developing, and how, part of making something happen is having a clear kind of picture of how you expect it to come into being, or kind of like fake it till you make it sort of a thing. And this next project that I'm working on, I've been like, I feel like it's such a big thing, and it's like such a huge dream. And whenever I'm like, I don't know how it's gonna happen, I'm always like, well, I didn't know how Aqualillies was going to happen. I mean, essentially, like, we created a market for this art form. Like, we were instrumental in making this a thing. When we started, there wasn't. It was such a novelty. If you were at an event and someone came out, if like a bunch of people came out on the pool deck and then jumped in the water and
did this choreographed sequence,
you would just be like, oh my God, this has happened in front of me. What even is this? Now I think now there's a general sense of like, well, that could happen.
Yes.
I could be somewhere and that could happen.
But Aqualillies is definitely the forefront of
that wasn't what it, when it started, space. It was really, so I do feel like we, it's hard to know with anything like, oh, are you responsible for bringing about a thing, or did you happen to be aligned on the wave right when it was cresting? You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
It's like it's like
where
like I like to think that there are certain things that like want to be in existence in the universe, and like you kind of like mother them into being, or you foster them into being, and you kind of like get out of the way and stay focused and do all the things, right? So because all of that to say that I did not expect that I would be like that I would run a synchronized swimming entertainment company or artistic swimming entertainment company. That's not something I anticipated. In fact, I started out designing avant-garde dance theater experiences for events in New York City.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So even though I'm a dancer and I was choreographing, I was doing more like storytelling through movement and creating experiences. So when I came to Los Angeles and the pool was central to the events here, and in LA, the event scene is the theater scene in a way. Like coming from New York, I was like, oh, this is where the theater is.
Yeah. This is what you guys do.
This is what you guys do. Then I was like, oh, wow, that pool's lit and it's inactive. I want to activate the pool. And then it was, okay, I'm going to hire artistic swimmers and dancers and craft a kind of hybrid of those two things. So, but I did not like grow up being like, one day I will create water ballets for the masses.
So did you want to be like a director? Like, what was the thing that you did want to do? Like, what was your...
You know what? When I was young, I wanted to act, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that came out of me wanting, you know, to have a space where I could share my emotions, which wasn't something that really happened that much in my house. And then I studied experimental theater at Tisch at NYU. And even though I was dancing from age 6 to 16, I was doing tap and ballet and gymnastics. And then I got into, I'm sort of like a hobbyist when it comes to dance. So like I got into belly dancing in high school and Afro-Haitian.
Experimental.
And like some circus performing and stuff. Yeah, I like all over the place. And then when I went to New York, I studied with Annie B. Parsons, who's just incredible. She choreographs like for David Byrne, and and so then actually I came to LA and I assisted Rich and Tone Talawega.
Oh yeah.
And
I would think I worked with them on something like a long time ago.
Yeah. Those guys are so talented.
Yeah.
And then before that, actually, I was one of Adam Sandler's assistants at Happy Madison.
Wow.
Yes.
That is a very like...
Well, my brother was friends with one of his director's sons. I mean, that's just how things are in LA.
Yeah. Who you know, and it places you. I feel like that's something that I've definitely learned in LA. It's like, it is your talent. Your talent has to back you up. But what gets you in is kind of like who you know. But like, as long as you are able to follow through, have the skill, have the talent, but like, so who you know is a big part that gets you in.
It's such a big part. Yeah, because people are people, and we just find each other through each other. So I was assisting Dennis Dugan, and that was kind of like an introduction for me of like, oh, this is what it's like to be on set. And it was cool because I was in Video Village with him as his note taker for Benchwarmers.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's that baseball movie. Anyways, with John Heder, like it was, and being in Video Village was like, oh, you know, this is really cool. This is like so cool.
Yeah.
And Dennis Dugan had this great phrase, which was like, this is show business. We're in the business of making the impossible possible. Like I don't hear no is how that was just his attitude as a director. And he worked with a lot of celebrities, a lot of comedians, you know, in Adam Sandler's world. And anyways, I just thought that was such a great attitude. So that, I think, flavored for me, that was like my kind of intro mantra in the industry.
Everything.
Yeah.
Because I feel like one thing about you, like why I really wanted you on, because I was like, I know you from Aqualillies, but then I feel like you did that, did that, you started that, and then you kind of like merge into these other worlds where you actually execute what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's a short film or whether it's a dance project, you just like reach out and you do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I
feel
feel
so
like
much for saying that. And the reason why that means a lot to me that you say that is because, and I do think it's related to motherhood and the added responsibility that comes with motherhood. Is like, as a creative person, like a lot of ideas come to me. Like I have a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I want to make, and I don't have all the time in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes I feel like, even though it depends on which direction I'm looking at, like glass half empty or glass half full.
Good
If I'm
choice.
thinking about everything that ended up not even on the cutting room floor, because I didn't even shoot it yet to cut it out, but that didn't make it, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, all those like
Ideas.
almost, or like,
Yeah.
all the ideas, so many things. And so half full or half empty, if I'm looking at it half full, I'm like, wow, look at all the things that I did do. Like, I
Right.
did choreograph a music video for Lizzo and
Right.
an episode of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, and I've shot in the last 10 years since I had my 2 kids, I have shot 5 short films. So it's not nothing, but I also am like a highly ambitious and driven person, and I'm like, but it's not enough.
I must keep going. Keep it going.
Yeah.
It's like the drive. It's what, and in a creative space, I also feel like there's lots of ideas that just don't come to fruition for whatever reason. So like, to execute it, do you think you were, as far as getting things done, do you think before kids, after kids, do you think that played any part? Like, did you take a break? Did you?
So I had my kids 4 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like at age 4 is just kind of like, oh, like I felt like, oh, they're a little bit more okay on their own, a little, like
Mm-hmm.
age 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, 4 months too. I was like, oh, 4 months is like a little. And then I think for me also at 4 years, it was like they're in school a little bit more. But then I had another kid when my eldest was 4.
Right.
And then when my youngest was 4, the pandemic hit.
Oh, interesting. 4s are like,
it was just like, wait a second, I was supposed to like go back to work a little more full time. So the pandemic was really hard for me timing wise.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I was like suddenly homeschooling, and I was like, wait a second, I was like just about to
go back out. Oh,
to have more work hours here.
Mm-hmm. So when your daughter before 4, did you just kind of pull back a little bit on creating new projects?
I think because I was raised by a single working mom, and she went back to work when I was 6 months and worked long hours. I think for me, it was almost like I was trying to like make up for that longing or something.
Yeah.
And I felt like I wanted my girls to feel my presence like at home more. And also because of my work, my mom was a nurse, so it was different for her.
She didn't necessarily have the choice. Like,
we
kind of control our schedules,
our hours.
Yeah.
And also I have, I'm married, and my partner is like very involved, so but yeah, my mom's hours were like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you were like,
so I was like, I'm gonna be here.
Wow. So you like totally.
And I definitely, like, thankfully, actually my husband was not just helpful with the kids, but really helpful with helping me to restructure Aqualillies. Because at the time, before I had Lavinia, that's my eldest, I was doing like, show managing and like sending out call sheets and like,
you were doing it all.
Oh my God.
It's crazy because that's what
hanging the swimsuits to dry.
I remember that. I remember it because I didn't realize till like later that the newer people haven't met you or like didn't meet you.
No, most of the people at the company don't even know who
Which
I
is
am.
crazy. Yeah. I'm like, but she was at the shows. I was like, oh my gosh, she was our show manager. You were at every, I was
carrying the sound equipment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's crazy and I get it now because, I think that was smarter for you because, I mean, because you were able to pull
startup.
Out, you did it, it's able to be okay. For you to be able to do your other things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and even you grew, you got cake, you have the Willies, like it was able to expand on its own, and you were able to do other projects as well.
Yeah.
And step in when you want, come back in, however.
So the Willies is there's Aqualillies and then there's Aqualillies. So the Lilies and the Willies swim together, and also there's just like, Aqualillies shows, they're fun.
Yeah.
And then the cake show it's a 9-foot tall transforming cake. So it starts out, the cake is closed and dancers pop out, and then they disassemble the cake through the dance, and they turn it inside out into like a Golden Gatsby style band shell. So that
Wow.
yeah, that show's crazy.
Yeah, that show is, I've done it like twice. That is like an athletic show
It's
where
so
you're like,
athletic.
we're like hiding inside of this cake. Like, not how many of us? I don't even know how.
6 usually,
Okay.
but honestly, it's infinite because if you just back the cake, there's a trap door in the back, and if you just back it up against the wall, you could
people
literally have like
be-
25
you're so right.
people come out.
It's just
endless.
it's a genius.
All your friends could come
contraption.
out.
Everyone could come. Yeah,
And your whole family could appear out through the top of
go
a cake.
go. And yeah. So that is great because also like you were just able to create these different things. Like your husband helped you like streamline it.
Yes.
basically.
So, well, let me say one thing about cake, which is interesting that just occurs to me is like cake, like Aqualillies, I think is it's sort of like a celebration of strength and grace, which is largely what my work is focused on. Is the celebration of really of feminine strength. And so the cake project is kind of like turning that old trope from like Singing in the Rain and this idea that women are going to pop out of a cake and do and kind of like making it like super athletic and actually turning the cake inside out and saying like, you know, this is what it's like now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jordan, our husbands have the same
I
name.
know, so funny. It's so funny. Our husbands have the
It's
same
a good
name.
name. Yeah, we have
great
good
name.
taste. We have
great
good
name.
taste. So he was like, dude, this is not sustainable. Like, and I was not like my sister-in-law is like so graceful. I feel like some people make that transition more gracefully than others.
And transition.
I was like not sleeping and had like scabs on the nips and was like, I was like, who is this woman, this person that I've become? Like, I don't even recognize. I mean, it was rough. For me, that transition was hard. And also, like, I love being a mother and I love my kids and I wouldn't trade it not for 1 second. Two things could be true. Yeah.
It could be a traumatic, like, horrible situation, but also like the most beautiful, like, thing. So was that your first kid where it was a hard transition?
Yes.
Because you had another one.
It was both kids. Actually, my second kid had hip dysplasia and had to have surgery when she was,
I remember that.
Yeah, when she was 6 months. So that was really hard. That was really fucking hard. So, am I allowed to swear? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, you're good.
So, you know, and then back to what you were saying about or what we were talking about like, do you feel like, I guess I've just been ruminating lately on like, do I feel like I've done what I've set out to do, or am I doing in my career what I set out to do? You know, and one of the things that I think about is, I mean, and you too, I'm sure, right? Like, having kids has informed what it is that you want to say. And even though it feels sometimes like, oh, I detoured off the main trail over here, like, actually there is no main trail. It's just life, and like life is messy, and what you live through informs what you speak about.
Yeah. So do you think that it also helped you in your creative space being a mom, like giving you a different voice, giving you a different perspective? Do you find like just becoming a mother?
Yeah. Like, I feel like the depth and the breadth of like my humility and like my willingness is so much greater. And like my awe in terms of like human nature and what we're capable of and where we kind of all come from, and like, the vulnerability piece. Like, your kids teach you that.
They do. Do you bring your kids with you? Like, are they ever a part of like your actual process of creating, or like bringing them in sets, or like bringing them to places that you work? And
you know, I feel like I did more with Lavinia. When I had like one kid on a hip, I felt like I could have like a camera in one hand and a kid on the other hip, and like do that. I mean, they do still come to the public events when Aqualillies has, when we have our public events, they both come and they love it, and they bring their friends. And I think it makes them feel special, like, oh, you know, and they get their autographs of the performers and stuff. It's very sweet.
That's really cute. That's really cute.
But maybe, like, I think when they're older, Lavinia's a dancer. She's training to be a ballet dancer, actually.
That's cute.
So I think, you know, she sees me dancing, and we connect there.
Mm-hmm.
And then both kids have been present, like when the cake rehearsals were
Okay.
at my
Mm-hmm.
house
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
got
were
to
there.
see. I
Yeah.
definitely feel like you said, with one kid, you kind of feel like you're able to move around. And some, like they say, what do they say? They say one kid is one kid, two kid is like 15. You know, it's just like all
Yeah,
of a
and
sudden.
I think 3 kid is like a minivan.
Oh,
And you're just like, oh, that's a whole nother thing.
3 kids,
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah. I mean,
I stopped.
I'm
Yeah.
done.
we're
Yeah.
done.
It was a hard.
2 is plenty.
A hard two
Yeah.
is enough, because I mean, we even moved, you know, because one, living in LA, you know, it's pricey, and one, we felt like we could figure it out with like our friends and like watching the kids if we need for auditions or whatever, or work. And then I felt like with 2, it sounded a little like a lot to be like, hey, can you watch my kids? You know, like it seems like it's a little bit more,
Totally.
a little bit more. But what I would do is like, even I would have like friends, London, she would come to my auditions and like push my kids in strollers. Like that was the best idea I could come up with. Like
so
if they
good.
met me at where I was at, and like while I was auditioning, like walk the kids, and you know, because I felt like if I take them to their house, I'm like, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Oh yeah, right.
I
No,
don't know what
I don't want them to
gonna do.
wreck
Yeah,
your
I'm
house.
like, I really don't know. If you keep them outside, you know, they'll be fine.
Totally.
So definitely learn.
Also, the audition is like 20 minutes, or
Yeah.
wait for a
20
while?
minutes.
Yeah.
But it's like, gosh, one time I swear there was one, it was like almost an hour, and I just felt so bad because she was probably out there like, how much longer
I love
am
that
I
you
pushing?
did that though. I love that you called on your crew. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's key. I mean, for me, I had kids kind of before my other friends in LA had kids.
Everyone has kids fairly late, I feel like.
Yeah. So and then like if you don't have kids, you don't know how much energy the kids need. And so I wish a little bit that I had some friends who
Understood.
And then the other tricky piece of that is then like your friends who do know because they have kids also are like, I'm busy because I have kids.
I have kids. I know. It's wild because, like you said, a lot of people don't understand. Like the people who don't have kids, they don't really understand. And for me personally, for all my friends that did have kids, I was like, hey, I'm sorry. I wasn't there probably for you as much as you needed, you know, because you don't realize that they would like a break. So I had just a moment. I'm like, I'm sorry. You know, I wish I could have been there for me, but I didn't know. And I know that they know. And I feel like I want to extend the same grace to any of my friends who don't have kids, because I mean, most of my friends love kids, and they love my kids, and they help.
Totally.
And finding a group of people that you trust with your kids is just like,
it's so key. It's everything. And those people mean so much.
And they mean so much to me. I'm like, if I could trust you with my kids, like, I love you forever. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
also, actually, those people mean so much to your kids.
Oh yeah.
And like the bond that my girlfriends without kids who have relationships with my kids, like like the Tias in our life, you know, like those people, they are really important. And also, I think about it, you know, from just like a cultural perspective, is like we live in a very like progress oriented, individualistic culture, and that circle of community and like the elders and the women in our lives, like we need each other. Like the mamas need those people, and I think those people need to be around the kids too, you know. But it's just
the idea of the village, creating. And it's like a lot of people out in LA, I would say per se, don't necessarily have their family, so they have to rely on
for sure
the village that they build through friendships.
Totally.
So it's just like when friends become family is like what I think is
that.
what people need to build or like keep in mind, and all those
to stay
things.
Sane.
Yeah, to stay sane, because you could lose your mind.
And you do.
Yes, you do.
But you asked me a question about Jordan.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was tired and like really tired postpartum, and he was like, you can't do all these things. You know, I guess I thought I'd be like back at it in like 4 to 6 months. I was like, it's cool, you know, it's going to be a minute, but then, and maybe because my mom went back to work at 6 months, I just thought, well, you know.
That's how it is.
Yeah, that's how it is, you know. But, you know, my mom, like, she was employed by someone else and the rules were set for her and she kind of plugged in,
Yeah.
right? For me, because I was the boss and it was my company, I had to like recreate how this was going to keep working, how I was going to be present enough to oversee it to make sure that the transition and the new personnel and everything, that it would work,
Right.
to have other people doing the thing. Like, what parts of this do I want to do? What parts of this can I do?
Yeah.
And can I delegate, and what should I delegate, and to whom should I delegate?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of trial and error, and there were a lot of people. I mean, now we have a system that works, and it's very clear. Like, I'm like, these are the parts I love, and I think part of being a successful company is everybody at the company is doing the parts they love.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really ideal, and like
What
having
people
clear enough
enjoy.
communication to know how to find out what the people at your company love to do and make and nurture that, you know. But when you're underslept, like, I don't know, honestly, I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't for Jordan and him being like, all right, let's just lay out the whole infrastructure of how this is. I was gonna say how this is working, how this isn't working right now, and let's
Make it work.
let's make it work.
Yeah.
And let's put together some spreadsheets and some,
I know.
you know, like,
let's do this. Let's do it.
create
like,
a call sheet.
Yeah, let's
and
do it,
let's
like, well,
create an Excel for like all the bookings and the accounting, and let's like
Organize
because this was
this.
growing
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So I started the company in 2008, and they say with startup it takes about 5 years before it's like galloping, and that was the case for Aqualillies. It was galloping at 5 years in, and we started becoming an international brand, and you know, added the Miami team and the New York team. It was starting to gallop right when I was starting to be a mom.
Oh.
So that infrastructure reshift was going to happen anyways. So the
Oh, so it
timing
was
was good.
inevitable.
Yeah,
So it happened
but I
right
was
when
like, oh my God, I'm
needs to.
already at the maximum of what I can handle.
I have you hit the peak, and you were about to have kids right when
Yeah,
this was going
so
on.
actually, Lavinia was born in 2013, and I started the company in 2008. So the company was hitting full stride right when I was like careening into the motherhood wall. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's like
Boosh.
run, pop, pop,
Yeah,
pop,
and then I'm like, wait, where am I? What's happening?
And
Yeah.
then there's all the things of postpartum that you're dealing with as well, and that lasts. I don't know how long. Everyone has different ones, but for me, I was solid year. I mean, and they say it takes 18 months just for you to
like for your body to come perfectly back. Yeah, yeah, and it also just changes forever. You were like a different person. Yeah.
Have you learned how to? Because now you have two, and now they're older. But have you learned how to what are the boundaries that you set for like your giving yourself to your creative self and doing all that, and then like your home life, kid life?
Well, my first thought was what boundaries. Like, I just feel like it is so hard for me sometimes to set boundaries. But that is actually not true. It just feels that way because there's so many requests. Like, sometimes I feel like I have to, if I want to finish something and, like, they get home earlier than I thought, or so, I literally am like, I'm going into the closet. No one knows I'm here. I am not done yet with whatever it is I'm working on. Like, sometimes I feel like I have to hide because if they know mom is home, like, for sure they want to talk to me. Yeah,
just creating a space.
Yeah, like I would like to, in theory, I'm like I've become the type of matriarch who people are like, oh, like she's wearing her glasses. Don't interrupt her.
That means she's working.
Yeah, like I respect her space and I don't want to interrupt her. She's doing important things and I know that she's needs her space. Hell no.
I wish.
It's just like, Mom!
I know.
I'm like, ask your dad, or like, just wait 1 sec.
It's so hard, I feel like, to get like just a moment to have a clear like thoughts, a stream of thoughts. Like a stream of thoughts to me is impossible. Like I have that when I'm driving. Like to me, like today coming here, it's like, and I think people don't understand like that's how little it becomes, taking these moments to yourself, because there's no one saying nothing in the car when I'm driving by myself.
Oh, yeah,
so it's like even if I did
you'll
like
take it
it's
wherever
like
you can get it.
I will take it wherever.
I
like
remember,
I listen I drive in silence. Okay, there's nothing playing. I'm just like thinking.
Hearing my own thoughts.
I'm hearing my own thoughts.
Yeah,
crazy.
I remember when I first became a mom and I was like, I'm at the grocery store by myself. And I was like,
All
it's like the
things.
spa.
Oh my gosh. I'm literally, I feel you. Like the grocery store.
I was just like, it took me so long to find the right shape.
Man, I'm not coming back.
Like, it was a big undertaking.
Mm-hmm.
It like, whoa, you were at the store for like
a long
2.5
time.
hours.
It was
We
packed.
needed that. Yeah,
It was
the
packed.
line was
It
really
packed.
long.
Like, even just like getting food, like anything is just being alone.
Whatever. Yeah.
That's one thing I definitely missed. I missed my own thoughts, and I didn't even realize that I didn't have them until I think like the first time I drove by myself. I was like, I just had these thoughts, and I just realized in that moment that I was like, have I not been thinking? You know, like I think I've just been like surviving and taking care of these children.
Well,
and I don't
it's
know
like
if
the
it's a choice.
difference between sustained thoughts
Yes.
and interrupted thoughts.
Correct.
So it's like a depth issue. Like you can skip a rock on the surface, or it's like kaplunk and you watch it go. You go deep, and then you're like, oh. It's like when you're in a conversation with somebody else, and you're like, oh wow, we're like really down here in the deep, just like excavating. Like, oh yeah, and then there's this, but you have to be uninterrupted to like really
get there.
That archaeological dig for like to get there. And as an artist, that's what you actually do for your community. That you're the one who does that.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's precious. And yet, as an artist, sometimes you feel like, or I should speak for myself, sometimes I'm like, wow, what a luxury. Like, you get to, like, you're just, like, writing something right now. Like,
I literally had this
you lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah. And but that's our job. Like,
it's a job when you are paid to do the thing, but, like, how much shit do you do on spec? How many things are you in development on? And that, you know, because, like, especially as an actor, like, you're not going to get paid for every audition, but then when you book the job,
that's work.
Exactly, it's work. And so is, and my husband is really good at this, because his career has been like maybe more predictable than mine in some ways. Aqualillies has been steady, but like as a director and a filmmaker, like, there's a lot of unpredictability that comes.
Because he's
a writer and a producer, and he has just been very fortunate to be paid to write for 2 decades.
That is
amazing.
Wow.
And he is often able to say to me, and again, maybe this maybe as like a chronic freelancer, you know, you always feel like, I don't really know if I can go see a movie right now or take a walk on the beach or whatever, like my soul needs to do right now. Because I have to, like, when you're an entrepreneur or like a freelancer, you have a kind of like hustle gets you there mentality. And I'm like personally working on like, is there another gets you there thing that has to do with like clarity and vision and relaxation?
Man, when you figure it out, let me know. I want to get there.
Likewise, girl.
Because that is the thing. You want to execute your dream and the things that you have, because then someone else is going to do it before you, or you feel like this could be it. It's like so much pressure, like being an entrepreneur, creating your own projects, because it's also just like what you put in so much unpaid time into this, and you're just like, what? Sometimes I forget in my mind, I'm like, what am I doing this for? Like sometimes with the podcast, even I'll be like, why am I doing? Like, it's so much work I'm doing, so much this, but it's like, I guess it just comes down to the why. Like, what is the purpose?
It does. It all comes back to the why.
Yeah. So it's just
What's your why
for this?
Yeah.
Well, my why is that I want to make women feel like they could work and also follow their dreams, like continue to live their, not have to stop, because there was a time where it's like, people give up their dreams and their hopes and whatever to take care of their kids. And I feel like I knew I didn't want that. And I feel like the more we talk about it, it will support motherhood in the industry. And I feel like even just projects, because sometimes, you feel like, I don't know how to, unreliable or a burden. For example, if my kid is sick, if my kid is hurt, I'm leaving. And I understand how that could seem unreliable, but it's like, but I also feel like moms, women in general are like, we'll get it done. We'll figure it out. If you want it done, we will figure it out. But I feel like sometimes mothers, women, whatever, we have to, like, you don't want to talk about your kids too much. I don't, like, I just want to create a space where it doesn't seem that having a kid is
I think there is a false dichotomy. I think it's not true that you can't be, for sure, that it's false to say that a woman can't be successful in the workplace and be a mother.
Correct.
On the contrary, the things you learn from being a mother make you incredibly capable and intuitive and direct. Yeah, and like a good listener and all those things that make a company or a project run well.
And then I feel like it'll get done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like like women, whatever, we can figure out. You just need to trust us, like, don't let it, like, yes, there are the things where if my kid is sick, if my kid is this, I have to go take care of it. But just, it's like, give something to a busy person and they get it done. Isn't that what they say? It's like, if you give it to someone who doesn't have anything to do, they're like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. But like, it's like, no, as a mom now, it's like, oh, well, I got a window of time right here. So this is when it's getting done. And then that's it.
That's fun. It reminds me of this, my basketball coach. I played basketball in high school, and he would say the way you practice is the way you play. So like, show up to practice. Yeah.
I definitely think that that's true. I feel like I've heard that, like, with dance as well, where they're like, when you rehearse, I need to still see the full movement, because I can't fix it if I can't see the full movement, because I don't know if you're doing it for real or if you're not.
And your body doesn't. Like,
it's not translating.
Put it on.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just like this thing. So
yeah, and I feel that when I'm listening.
Good. I'm glad. I hope that it reaches people in that, and I hope that it. In the end, my Jordan, obviously, he was like, it could be something as small as, like, say there was someone, an actor or someone, an entrepreneur, someone who was afraid to have kids. Like, maybe they heard your episode and they decided that they could have kids. And to me, that would be enough to know that I made someone feel empowered enough to, take that step of being a mother, because it's a challenging one and it's a big decision. Because, we think about all the things. We think about work. We think about the time we're going to have to take off. We're going to think about our bodies. We're going to think about our brain. We're going to think about all that stuff. But it's like, it is crazy. It is chaotic. It is really hard.
No, you know what I love about it? I love that, like, life doesn't stop because you have kids. I think that's almost like something you think is going to happen before you have kids.
I agree.
And like, these conversations make it otherwise, right? Because I've always known you to be a person who's been very open and very candid. Like, before you had kids, you like showing up and be like, "Hey, it's me, Alicia. Like, let me tell you what's going on." Yeah. Or like, your hair's changing after you have your kids, and you're like, "Let's talk about this."
Yes.
Like, what do you think? And like, that's like a special skill. I feel like that's really special to be.
The podcast, the purpose,
Oh yeah. So I was just saying, like, you've always done that. You've always been candid and like made people feel like they can get to know you, and you're going to be honest with them about your life. And so it wasn't really surprising that then when you had kids, you're like, "Oh, next up, here's what's going on now." Yeah. And then, but to take it to the next level with podcasts is really cool, right? Because you can dig a little bit deeper and you can be more intentional. But I love that. Why I think that's awesome.
That's fun. I'm so glad that that's how you perceive it from the outside. That is what it is. But it's just like, it is true. I guess when you think about it, I've always been like an open book. I'm just like, what do you want to talk about? Like, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm always just like, because to me, I'm like, the things you learn. Like, I mean, even just like breast milk, I didn't realize that it comes out like a sprout, like a shower. I thought there was like one streamline.
Totally.
Like, and I was like, you want to see it? Like, I remember one time I showed my friend, I was like, you want to see how it comes out? It literally just, it sprays like a sponge shower thing. Like,
well, and I just hate so much how these things that so many of us have to learn for the first time are shrouded in a kind of like quiet, hidden, like, I don't know, is it shame, or why is it that, like, this has been going on since the beginning of time? Why is everything that happens such a total novelty to everyone it happens to? I mean,
I don't know.
Like, help us.
Birth has been happening since the beginning of time. Like, what do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like that was the other reason I wanted to do it. I was like, no, y'all gotta know what's going on, because it's not what you think. But after doing the podcast, I've also realized why people don't talk about things. And it's because if people knew what it was really like to have kids, how I would explain it. They wouldn't have kids. Like if I were to tell them I haven't slept, I mean, at this point in years, you know, like a regular, like now that everyone is sleeping, but like it's been 3 years of me having irregular streak. I've been pregnant or breastfeeding for 3.5 years. Like it was a rough time. So if you tell them all these things, this peels, this cracks, this looks like that, it's like, why would I want that? And it's like, because the love.
Yeah, because like, it's so worth it.
But you can't explain the love. That's the thing. I can only explain to you like, oh, it's so hard.
Right.
But you can't fathom how much love you will have. Because even from my first to my second kid, I feel like I got nervous because like, oh my gosh, I love my son so much. I'm not gonna have any more room to love this second kid. And then I did. And I would have never
Isn't
thought.
That wild?
Yeah. Wild. I was like, I'm full. Like my heart is full with my son. He's perfect. Now he's a
little terror.
Man.
How old is he?
2.5.
Yeah.
He is wild. He does not care about his life, his livelihood. Like
Yeah, you got to keep your eye on him at all times.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. Yeah. And
probably he's also like standing up to you now.
More. Oh yeah.
He's like, and what if I don't?
He's pushing the buttons, whatever button it is. If it was an elevator thing, just imagine all the buttons are just.
He's trying your patience.
He's doing my patience. Yes, but I love him,
and I love him.
Far more than words can express. And I love my daughter. But I definitely, it's just wild. So I think that's why people don't talk about it. But that's why we're here to talk about it.
We're here to talk about it. And I think it's important. And I also think like because we live in a culture where, look, in the last decade, I had 2 kids and I lost both my parents. And then like squeeze a little pandemic in the middle of it. Like it was a lot these last 2 years. And I think like for those who are listening who've lost, you know, their parents, it's like that is also a rite of passage. It's an existential life shift. Each parent offers you an planned look at yourself and what, you know, who you are in their footsteps as they hand the torch to you. Like it's a lot the same way that having kids is a lot, where you also take up a torch and you hold a new place in your family line. And those things, you know, in other cultures, those things are like celebrated in a way that we don't. Grief happens in solitude in this culture. Postpartum happens in solitude in this culture. So
it's the support.
Yeah. So the dialogue around like, am I achieving enough? Am I accomplishing enough? Like, that's like that. You know, that is like
yeah.
It's just what we think about. It's what I think about. It's part of like how we live here, and especially LA is like the mecca for like. This self-creation.
It's heavy self. It's very heavy self. And that's why I even feel like with motherhood, it gave me something else, because I feel like there's the pressure of, I gotta make it. How am I gonna make it? What can I do? And being a mom has taken off the pressure of that, which is wild that maybe I'm realizing that right now. That I'm like, I think it's taken off the pressure of I have to make it. Because I still do. I mean, I'm still not going to give up. I'm literally not going to stop. But it doesn't put that much, like, I feel like I'm finding purpose in my kids as well. Yes, that's it. I mean, I'm like.
Right. Like something about like leaving a legacy behind through your work because you want to like be immortal in some way. What did I do while I was here?
Yes.
And then like when you have kids, you're like.
It's done.
Yeah, like I made these guys. Okay. Like, we're cool. Like the rest is like. You know, icing on top of the cake, kind of. But we like our icing and our cake,
and that's why we're here. We like the icing and we like the cake, and that's why I'm like, it doesn't mean that I'm stopping anything else, but I do think it took off the edge of like time is running out, because to me now, like I even think, because my kids are like 1 and 2, you know, right now, and I think they're going to be 30, right? So that also means I have 30 years of a career as well. Like that's an opportunity of 30 years, because we think as we're getting older, like, oh, time is running out. 30 years is a long time to get something done. And this is just 30 years.
Right.
You know, I hope I live longer than 30 years.
I think there is a miscalculation, like an inaccurate narrative that like you're going to get it done. It stops at any point. It doesn't ever stop. You're always going to be you. You're always going to be doing, the creative ideas are still coming to you the way they always have, the way they always will. They're just informed by your life circumstances. So I think like having kids and actually even losing your parents, like those life circumstances inform the art. They make you, you know, they deepen your perspective.
It gives you a whole different layer of life that you wouldn't, because I do think, luckily, you know, I haven't lost my parents, and I'm grateful, you know, but I do think that gives you, like you said, to motherhood, you have to experience it to open that part of your heart. Feels different, I think. I haven't dealt with it, but I could assume, you know, because I just want to support people in that, because I've had, you know, friends that have, you know, the parents have passed, and I want to be there for them, but I don't know how it is, and I could only.
It's similar to like if you don't have kids, if you didn't like, then you don't. It's just, it's like you can't prepare anybody for either of these things. And interestingly, I was present with my dad while he was ill, but not like when he actually passed over. But obviously I was there when both my kids were born, and I was there. I was very much there.
I wasn't. I was disassociated.
I don't even know where I was. Yeah.
I was so disassociated. I was not there.
But that experience, that birth, or like being, so I feel like so I was with my mom when she passed. And that portal, that transition, that like the buffer around the actual moment of death, just like the buffer around the actual moment of birth. So like pre-birth, post-birth, like you're right on. Like you are like, you are somewhere else. Like I think of it as like almost like there's this kind of like what's the word for that layer around the atmosphere almost? Okay, so there's like this, like the atmosphere like opens.
Yes.
For like a spirit to arrive or a spirit to depart.
Yes.
And as like a mother or as a child, if you're present for your parents passing, like if you're present during the opening of that portal, like it's freaking life-changing period, full stop. Like,
it's a whole new, you open a new space that because
something powerful just happened.
Something crazy. It gives you I'm sure a crazy perspective of just like life. It's like it becomes out of body. I'm like, for me, for birth at least, it was like I was like, I'm having a baby. Like I had to like process. Like I remember just looking at the roof. I was like, this is where I am giving birth. Like I don't know what I
didn't read a manual.
No, I did not.
What the hell is happening?
And it's
right
like,
now?
and then it just like plops out, and it's just like, I feel like my first words were literally, OMG. I'm like 90% sure, and you know they put them on my stomach, and I was like, OMG. You know, like it's just.
It's so big.
It's insane. And
it's
I think
big.
like for the first 6 months I was like, I'm a mom. I have a child. You know, like it still didn't
What do
click.
they say? Like first baby's existential crisis. Second baby's time management crisis. Have you heard that?
Whoa. No, who wrote that?
I don't
A
know.
genius.
It's good, right?
That's
It wasn't
really
me.
good.
It wasn't me.
That's really good.
But it feels right on.
That feels actually perfectly on, because I definitely feel, even now when my son, if I only have one kid, I'm like, oh, I could get things done. Look at me. Like when I have one kid.
Yeah, one kid on the hip, the camera in the other hand.
You could do it. But with two, it's just like someone's waking up. Someone needs to eat. Someone needs to go to sleep. Someone needs a diaper change. Someone needs, it's just like, I'm tapped. You've used everything I have. So it's like finding these little times to work is great. You know, like having being able to do this is like great. And I hope like that, you know, there's just, you know, life happening, I guess.
So much life happening.
Yeah,
especially
so
when
life.
you have a 1 and a 2-year-old. There is so much life happening. You asked me like what are the tools I use, or like how I structure my time. I try to spend I give myself 3 hours, and it usually ends up being 2 hours.
Okay.
But like that's the magic. Like if I have a magical 2 hours a day where that's for like
You-
creative. So like I'm writing a treatment, or I'm storyboarding something, or like that uninterrupted writing visualization period is like everything. And even though I might have had more time to do that stuff before I had kids, I still feel like it's really effective as long as if you're like, to be plugged in for 2 hours a day is all you actually really need. I don't know even if you had more time than that, for me, like, would I get the download? Like, would I get that creative stuff, that creative connection for more than 2 hours a day? I don't know. So then once you have kids, it's really like, how do I structure everything else to guard that 2 hour a day? And I give it
Do you
3
always have it
hours.
at the same time? Is it the same 3 hours, or is it just, it varies? Okay.
I think if I like was really dialed in, because then I'd be like, okay, I had my like green tea, and like I worked out, and I, like I'm on stage for myself, like I'm at my computer, I'm doing the
thing.
Yeah. So like it could always get more refined, but like just showing up for it, and I give it 3 hours, because sometimes like you could just like, dick around for an hour being like,
it takes you so long to get into the zone. That's why I'm like, there's the setup for the actual work. Like you don't just sit there and you're like flow, and then all your ideas just like you get it out and it goes. It takes a second, and that's why I agree, because I think 2 hours is good, 3 hours is great, but once you get over that, like real clear, concise work, I mean, I feel like we have a window of creativity or something, where before you crash out and stuff like that.
Yes, like exactly. That's why it really only takes like, it's 2 hours a day is like plenty. It's just like, how do you tee yourself up to be like the channel? Like I'm channeling, the ideas are coming to me during those 2 hours, versus like, shit, this is the time I have, and I'm really fucking pissed because my husband said he was gonna do this thing, and I can't let that go right now, and I have so much to plan, and I should really do that, and then like, let me just pick up my phone and like check on those airfares, and make sure she's gonna be on time, and then you just like literally have to be like, I matter too. This matters too. I count. It's important. And just be like, if everything else falls apart right now, it's not gonna. Like it's
not going
and
to.
furthermore, if I don't do this, everything else actually
I'm gonna fall apart.
I'm gonna fall apart, and the thing I'm trying to like, what do we talk about, the cake and the frosting? Like now, like if you put the cherry on top, for me the cherry is like, I want unassigned time. So not just like, I'm here to work and get the work done. Yeah. I'm here to look after and manage all the things, the invisible things that are happening, that I'm managing, like everyone in my family's schedule, and making sure that the pickups and the drop-offs and the da-da-da.
Everything is good.
And not like, I have to get in here because I have this deadline, but just literally like, okay, my kids are at school.
This is my designated time.
What do I want to do right now? That's like a luxury.
Are you working on anything right now?
Yeah. I'm writing something that's in development that I can't talk about.
Okay.
And I also may be shooting a short film.
Ooh.
Which I also can't talk about. And
It's okay. By the time it comes out, maybe I'll talk about it in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I could wait until you're ready, and I could do an opening for it, and I'll talk about it then.
Yeah, but like one of the things I'm thinking about is like, there's these some projects are like really big projects. Like this one that I've been working on for 2 years. And then I also have like littler, like they're not littler ideas, they're great ideas, but it's like comes in the form of like a short film or something.
It's not taking 2 years.
Yeah, and also sometimes like the idea comes to me and I really like the idea because it's something I really want to say, but I also ask myself, in terms of like short filmmaking especially, like, why? Like, this is not a lucrative thing to do. I'm not going to return on this investment.
Yeah.
And lately I've been thinking that being expressive has its own returns. So even though like sometimes I'm like, really,
why am I doing this?
Like it had to come in the form like a short film. That's what I want to do. That's really annoying to me right now. But I'm also like, it's really fucking good idea, and
I'm gonna do it.
I've already like the script. It's just like came, like, talk about OMG, like, what did you say? It plopped out. It plopped out.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, it's just now it's just a time management issue, like, because I'm pretty good at like drawing the right people together and to
putting
like,
it together,
yeah, just
and
making
creating
a thing
it,
happen.
like making it happen. Because I definitely feel you on the short, like creating these things because you want it to be this big, great thing. But like you said, sometimes it's like, I guess it's a short. We worked on a short, and it's just like, all right, what are we doing with it? Where are we gonna put it? And you're just like, in the end, like we got so much, you know, like it is an experience in itself, and you learn. And I tell myself, like, these shorts or these projects that we do, it is making us better, because we're not gonna just get a major film deal right away. So it takes us doing these short films, doing real life projects, creating and things, so that we can be prepared for those. Because sometimes it's like, wait, make it make sense, you know, like I want it to be this grand big thing, but it's like, no, this is you have no idea what this is.
True.
in your creation. You don't know how this is going to tie back somehow,
who you're gonna meet, how it's gonna inform,
who you're gonna meet, what's gonna happen from this project that you think it's like smaller or whatever, but it's like, you don't know, it's building you.
I mean, Aqualillies, case in point. I think at the time when I started that company, I had a multimedia touring musical that had like projection and the characters ran off stage and on screen, and it was kind of like a farce, but it was a musical, really fun. And I was like, oh, like, should I keep pushing the tour? And then, which I was acting in and had produced, and anyways, and then I had this thing. It was dance yoga, which was like choreographed yoga set to music, and I was like teaching yoga classes, and I was like, maybe I'll become like a fitness guru. You know, I was in my late 20s, so I was like trying all these things on, you know. And then Aqualillies, I was like, I don't know, I think it'd be really cool to put like, you know, dancers in the water. And I remember talking to like my best friend from since preschool, Quincy, and he was like, I don't know, that last one seems like really out there, Mish.
Really?
Because like that does sound
out
but
there.
I was like, I know it does, but like I really am the most excited right now about that. So there is something to be said for following the excitement. Because I didn't know we were going to book the 17 show residency at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, and I didn't know we were going to book Justin Timberlake's 30th birthday party, and that from there we were going to become the home, like, private party entertainment. And I didn't know that it was going to lead me to do music videos for Justin Bieber and Nicki Minaj, and
which has now helped you, I feel like, even getting into these other spaces that it's like, maybe I wanted to be in these spaces, and it's like taking a different avenue brings you into these spaces, on these sets, you know, like creating these projects,
right? Like working with the Coen brothers and Marguerite Derricks on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and like watching those people and how they work is so inspiring. Yeah,
being in the right spot, meeting, I mean, and like we said earlier, it is about who you know, and it's like, just have the talent to follow through, and it's like you're gonna learn something and get something from that. So yeah, that's great. Yeah.
So we don't know. We're just doing our best here.
That's what I say all the time. We're just doing our best. Let me see. I think that might be it, honestly. Oh, okay. I have one more. All right. So I just have one more question.
Okay.
What is Mesha's like ultimate goal? Like, where do you want to be? Like, what's the pinnacle? Like, what's your creative dream goal? What is it? Take your time. No need to rush.
Okay, so I'll give myself a beat. I mean, it always evolves. It's so funny, and it's always like really huge. I would like to be producing a television series that involves dance and water ballet. And I would like for that series and for the story that's told on a platform like that to be about celebrating feminine strength. More and more I'm interested in storytelling. Yeah, and I think that has to do, you know, less with form and music and dance, the way I have been focused, and more on story. And I think that that has to do with having become a mom, to be honest, and also losing my parents, like speaking to the human condition more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. I really do. I can see, I'm telling you, I feel like I said, you inspire me. I feel like you just keep creating, and
Thanks.
it's like you're just going and you're just like adding things on, and I love to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, honey.
Well, I guess.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. That was it.
Yeah.
Yay. Woohoo.
Woo!
We did it. Awesome. Cut. Thank you so much for listening. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here with me. If you liked what you heard, put a ding on it. And don't forget to rate and review. And remember, motherhood is the best hood.